Hello, hello. It is I, Dragon's Fury, aka Shadow, aka Show, aka, well, we already know I got a lot of names. Thank you for joining us on this when this comes up Friday. So it should be Friday when this goes live. So hope you had a good week. Hope you're able to finish off the week strong and have this to get you through your Fridays, your weekend, whatever it may be. This one's going to be a little bit different. I got a lot more nonsense going on this go round because League of Legends Pro Play for North America has started. So that is going on currently as we're recording this. So we're going to do a kind of like a live-ish show on this one. I'm going to hop over into our Discord. We have Infernal, Magma, Warwolf, and AGS is going to be there. Infernal, Magma have joined us before. Mermaid, unfortunately, won't be joining us this time. She is out and about making more stories for later happen. And so we are just going to kick it right into there. We're going to still have the segments as usual, but this one's going to be a lot more of a live feel. Just going to be us talking about a previous match, the current match, the effects of pro play on the game that is the pro play. So it's going to be a lot of League of Legends. So I'll give you a chance now. If you don't like League and you don't want to hear us talk about League, leave now. I won't take it personally. Go listen to the other episodes. We got 2 more and a trailer for you to listen to. And then you can skip this one, come back again for the next Friday, hit up episode number 4, and we pick up where we left off. So, again, thanks for listening, and we'll see how things go over in the Discord. All right, we are live. Biggity biggity boys, say hi.
Wow.
I honestly thought you were about to say giggity.
Giggity giggity goo.
Oh my god, that's freaking terrible. All right, so let's kick things off with that first match.
Fuck.
Ooh, rough.
But hey, Cloud9 got the win.
I mean, yeah, they did. They're looking better. I don't know. I might be with Magma on this one. I think they might be better this season and actually stand a chance. At
Maybe.
least in the division. Well,
It was the bad haircut. It gave them power.
it was the bad haircut giving them power. But it's,
Yeah.
It let the brain expand.
I see. Oh, so there was Big Roy Prince.
No,
Jimmy
it let
Neutron
more-
expansion.
Yeah.
It let air,
Big-
no, it let
big brain
air
time.
get to the sides of the brain to let it cool off better.
Ah, better.
Better air circulation.
Better
Air-
air circulation.
air
I
intake.
love it. But to be fair, like last season before Worlds, like what was there? Because I remember I looked up when we were doing our picks for Worlds, but I don't remember what did they end their season as.
I don't know. All I know is that in playoffs they sucked ass.
Yeah, they
they
kind
were.
of did.
Like their score definitely wasn't the greatest last season, but they definitely weren't bad. I say that, but let's see, Cloud9.
That and to be fair, I think with the drastic, because with the durability like really like in the swing now, like now it's really in the swing with the, especially with the new changes to a lot of the items that came through. Like I feel like those weird trolley picks that they wanted to do last year are more viable this time.
Yeah. Also Cassante.
Also, Cassandra, which is crazy because he's completely fallen off in casual.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but we also gotta know that like the pros and the casuals, they're like completely different fields.
Yeah, but also the pros are the ones who are giving all of these, butthurt sweaties ideas. So, they see it was like, oh, such and such did this and such did that. Let's try that. But
Yeah, well, the issue is that the butthurt sweaties don't have the mechanics to do Cassante.
yeah, well, but still, that's not going to stop them from trying.
Yeah, you're right, but that's also, like you said, that's why it fell off in casual, because they couldn't do it.
Also, quickly going back to Cloud9, sorry to interrupt. They had a 58% win rate for season 12.
So that,
So
That's not
40
below 50. So,
so
yeah,
when did they? So what did that place them?
Ooh.
Well,
that I do not know.
I think they've updated the standings from. Yeah, because we're on. Let's see. Yeah, they've already updated the standings. Because it's you got the two. Because it's 10 teams this go round, but I don't remember how. I think it was still 10 teams last time. So 50.
I mean, they made it to playoffs, so it means they were like in the top for NA.
Well, yeah, but I think that puts them at what 3 or 4 for playoffs.
Yeah, because like
'Cause
during the group stage, they ended up dropping out in Group A at fourth place.
Yeah, they got handed to them, but like that, like we were talking back, like back when Worlds was happening last year, like they're fine. Like NA's fine, local, or against like one of the other like smaller leagues. But as soon as you hit with the big boys, it's
Yeah.
don't even.
The moment they go to the international stage, that is when things become an issue.
Like it is rough. I'm putting it out there now. I'm thinking they're gonna do the same like they did last year. They're gonna make it all the way to groups. I'm thinking they're gonna place higher though.
C9 winning Worlds this year. Quote me on that.
All right.
I'm not. Well, we can quote you. I ain't gonna agree with it.
You're right. I'm sorry. TSM
Like-
wins Worlds.
That'd be interesting to see. Fnatic. But I could. For Cloud9, I'm gonna say I'm gonna predict that they're going to squeak by group stage.
Oh, so we're gonna get a. Okay, so squeak by as in like we go in like a
It
game
comes down to a
5,
tiebreaker.
like game 5 tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like whatever group they're in, they're fighting for that second place spot.
All right. Okay.
Second place, not even first.
No,
Nah.
I don't have that high hope for them.
I'm thinking they're gonna have that chance only because of a lot of the changes that's been happening in Korea. A lot of the roster has been like switched hands. So like the big bad teams from last year I think are more split up amongst each other now. Don't quote me on that. I don't follow that much. It's just like regular sports. I don't care that much to see like who got traded here now. But speaking of Korea, we have, let's see, T1 and what was old Daewon? Yeah, because it's D plus Kia now. They're tied with
These new names are going to throw me off so much.
With 3 wins, so undefeated currently. Genji is third with 2-1, tied with 2 other teams, Sandbox and Byron for third. And then there's everyone else. who's been kind of like struggling right now. So I'm only thinking that NA stands a chance only because that I think this is going to be a down year for the LCK. Just like a feeling. And to be fair, like I mean, it did work out to some extent with with picks, with feelings alone of how like things were going based off their stats, whatnot. So that's what I'm thinking might give rise to. So that being said, let's see. Okay, predictions on nonsense builds. Like what's going to be the new nonsense build?
I mean,
Some bullshit support champion mid.
Okay.
And nothing specific, but Some bullshit. It's gonna be like the new fire enchanter guy. He's gonna end up like as a busted ass mid laner.
I'm looking. I'm looking forward to seeing what that champion's gonna be like.
Milio.
Milio. I feel like he's
Mario.
because
We're
the
gonna see
way that they
Renata
were
mid lane.
describing him, it almost seems like it was like an improved Annie. And I'm
Also
like,
support
it's
instead
Annie's
of a mid
father.
laner.
and I'm like,
If that's Annie's father's dead.
oop.
I mean, Yone came back.
True.
Yeah,
Ah.
but she's in like Noxus. Milio's like over in Ionia.
Is he from Ixtal?
Or
Yeah.
no, Ishtal, sorry.
Yeah, he's from
Ishtal.
They have crazy magic over there.
What?
They got crazy magic.
Hey,
They
they
got
got
another
real
Blessed
crazy.
Isles freaking Fountain of Youth bullshit, then we're
Maybe.
fucked.
I
We
don't
need
know.
No.
Diego-
Oh no!
No.
Haven't you ever seen Batman's Lazarus Pit?
Yeah, what's the difference?
Exactly.
Batman. Batman's the difference.
Turns out the new champion is Batman.
It's
The
Batman.
difference is we don't need freaking Viego 2.0.
Yeah, we really don't.
My God. I'm because with I'm trying to figure out because with Yumi getting nerfed to the 9th level of hell,
Hallelujah.
it I don't know because I don't know if it's going to be Yumi's getting nerfed to the 9th level of hell, but it still might be a mercy scenario
No, I don't think she's gonna be played anymore.
where
They nerfed her way too much.
But again, the big thing that like they didn't take away her ult. That's what, at least for the pros, that's what the threat was the I can now put everybody standing still where I want them.
I mean, let's face it. Like, they're nerfing Yumi for Ashe support to become more of a thing.
Please no.
She might be the
that's-
replacement. That or
that's
Tarek
only-
might pop off,
Yeah, Tarek might make a comeback.
especially with Radiant.
I'd be okay with that.
But yeah, because like in the current game of Evil Geniuses versus Golden Guardians, there is Ashe support with a Jhin ADC.
I know, I hate it. I hate Ashe support. It's stupid. Get rid
Oh,
of it.
it really is.
It's because of her stupid freaking passive.
Yeah.
That is the only thing.
What season was it where it was a MF support and Ashe ADC?
It was like 2 seasons ago, I think.
Yeah, because it's like I remember when that happened, like everyone went crazy over it, and now it's like just a thing now.
It's
Yup.
still, oh my god, that is still, but it's the same thing with MF. It's a passive problem because it's like she has unbelievable peel, and she doesn't even have to be good. She
Yeah.
literally just needs to be around you, and you get bonked.
Yeah, she just needs to strut her stuff and then press R.
She's like, strut, and God forbid you get CC'd, and then there's like, all right, you just got to eat all of that metal.
Or if it's the full price scan, you're eating coconuts.
Yeah. Where's the limes? We don't have enough limes for the coconuts.
They're in the coconuts.
They're in the coconuts. They were already
can't
in the
drink it all up.
coconuts.
can't drink it
She
all
was
up.
prepared.
She was prepared.
Mhm.
Okay. That do you think the ADC mid lane is going to be presented in pro? You think they're going to really abuse that?
I mean, technically, Corki was a thing for a while. And without Varus popping up these days, specifically AP Varus, the pros might start abusing it eventually.
Because it's like, well, yeah, but Corki also is like, he has a carry, but then also like mid lane kind of buildish nonsense in him.
Well, yeah, he's hybrid similar to Varus.
So, but I'm talking about more like like your game being popular in the mid lane. Jinx just up in that shit. Misfortune up in that shit.
Yeah.
Ashe probably not as much so, only because of the fact she would probably be like we said, support.
The main ADCs I could see going mid, if they're going to take them, would be Varus, Corki, Senna, because I've seen it a couple times. Ash, yeah, she has the slow, but I can't really see it as well. MF, just because she's annoying no matter where she is. Um, I saw Draven one time in mid.
That's funny.
I bullied the hell out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
no,
really
like,
wish I could play Draven. He's just so much fun. But I just can't for the life of me get the
micromanaging the axis.
well, not even micromanaging, it's just the pattern of the axis. Because it's like it goes where, you know, based off of how you're facing in a certain way, but like, because I already has started clicking elsewhere because I was like, okay, I'm going here, but once I'm here, I'm already putting the input in for the next spot. That's what fucks me up because I'm trying to do too much already. So it's like, oh, I was in the position I should have been to have caught it, but then I'm not in the position to catch it, and then, you know, the combo being, you know, the walk up and the blah 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 to keep them going is a problem. But also, you know, if it doesn't use magic, I'm probably off to a bad start.
Yeah, magic users just tend to be either the more fun ones to play or slightly easier.
So, you know, if they ain't a mage, what is okay? That was stupid. That like Jack's just beating him up, and then Olaf is just literally looking at him, just like that's cute, but like you lose this.
For those that are listening, Jax decided to fight Olaf under a turret, and it did not go well.
It did not go well. That's one of those things where it's like, what you think was going to be?
Champion has lifesteal.
Yeah, it's like life more than yours.
Lifesteal.
It's like of all champions, why fight Olaf under turret?
Yep, and I was like, it was close, but it literally was like one auto, and that's what did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you know, report tower for not targeting properly and not having enough damage. Like, come on, you get all the golds. Like,
hey, Riot, if you ever listen to this, fix the turret.
Fix the turrets, please.
There is an actual bug going on right now too, where like turret isn't targeting properly.
It's like fix the target.
Oh man, they're doing the replay. See, he was so ahead too. He should have won all of this, but auto and then wait, smited.
Yep. Goodbye.
Rude.
Did he hit? Oh, did he hit he hit the turret?
Might have hit the turret.
Oh, he did. Oh, turretless mouth.
So yeah, okay. So that was just a. Okay, that wasn't as dumb as I thought it was.
Yeah, it was more dumb because he actually he hit the turret.
It was a dumb decision to do it, but like I thought it was just like a them fight, and it's like, wait a minute, you were winning, and then you lost. Like, I'm not saying he should have lived. I'm saying Olaf should have died.
Like, it should have been like a double.
Yeah, that should have been a trade-off. Not a good trade-off, but it should have been a trade-off nonetheless. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, here's a fun one from the land of my brain. What?
Which land?
Does that matter?
And depending on which land it is.
I mean, you should be concerned either way. Healthy, you know, suspicion is always good for, you know, day in a life. But the question that just came to me is, what team comp do you think is going to become more popular? Because as you can see right now, we're not doing a lot of beef. Not a beef lane. It's still semi balanced out. You still got, you know, your frontliners, your mid back supports, and then like your back line.
Like the teams are pretty evenly spread out when it comes to their tanks and supports.
Right. So, first part of the question would be, do you think it, mainly in A, because we know Korea is going to do whatever the damn well please, right?
Yeah.
But for NA, do you think that they're going to change it up? You think they're going to embrace, you know, a more bulky build or a more like assassino build or a more, you know, you just won't die because of stupid amounts of healing.
Knowing
like
how aggressive NA can be as the season goes on, I feel like they'll still obviously have a probably like a tank jungler, but they'll probably focus more on assassin types or bursty type champions.
which then leads into question 2. Do you think they're going to get a fucking clue?
No.
Because that was the downfall from last year, was the lack of creativity, at least in my opinion.
And also the ability to adapt to your opponent's teams.
Oh, for sure. Like, I don't know what their like training regimen is going through. Like, if they make it that far and you're like in the group stages, you're in the tournament, of like, oh, this is, you know, what they were, you know, this is what popular builds, whatever. Because I know they had to do some level of like deep research, because, you know, you have your targeted bans and like your counter picks, but like comp wise though, it didn't seem like they were actually trying to build a comp around combating what is working out really well for their opponents.
Yeah, because like one thing we definitely saw from like the group stages, well, heck, even before the group stages, was that specifically the NA teams and some of the Western teams as well, they would just stay with the same champions every game.
Yeah,
I'm not counting Aatrox because he was busted as hell during that time.
God, that's fucking wild.
but like, if you take Aatrox out of this equation, they were just going the same exact people, even if they lost. It's like, change it up. Like, you can't just keep going the same people if it's not working out. Going back to, what was it, 2 years ago when that one team kept taking Urgot top and that cost them the game?
Oh, God. That was almost as infuriating as the Liandry's debacle.
Yeah, Liandry Ziggs. Anyone who's listening, if you take Liandry's on Ziggs,
and there is not a stupid amount of tanks for you to sustain that damage on, you're an idiot. Like, yeah. You are small and can be crushed. You need to be able to leave.
Ziggs is an explosive expert. He wants the boom.
He wants da boom. So like, that perfect segue is switch gears into like the game itself. We already know like how like bad the resources are being spread out, but like, do you think there's any hope of things like getting fixed here to an acceptable sense at least?
Like, what do you mean by fix? Like, do you mean like how the game is balanced? Or...
Well, okay. So, like, for example, like what we were talking about earlier, how the team that is working on TFT was basically the whole team from another, like, section. Where it's like, okay, like, cool, I understand you want to put resources into TFT, but, like, don't sacrifice a whole other section of your, you know, infrastructure for it. Stuff like that. Or like, are we going to stop getting money grubbing events?
Yeah, which is the current events. Like looking at like what they said in their recent like posts and everything, and like them being more transparent, which is good on Riot's part that they're actually starting to be more transparent after the whole debacle with the air quotes cinematic. It's like, I feel like they could fix things, but I would be surprised if they can fix it this season. Like,
They won't be able to.
Yeah, like we probably won't see anything like concrete until the season of 2024.
I mean, it's gonna take time, but like the point about like what you said with the transparency thing is like, I can only take that even at face value, because the reality is that they didn't have a choice.
Well, yeah,
Too much of a stink has been raised, but like, it's
so I was watching a video and they mentioned this. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was talking about is like the community of League has made such a stink and about like various things, but like also it's like the general like community for League that is like the actual dedicated ones, like not us, like where it's like we just have nothing better to do. Where it's, you know, like the diehards, like the actually like enjoying this game, but like still pissed about like the various things that happen, is that they're annoyed just enough to keep playing and only say something to a certain level, but that past quote unquote, like you put quotation marks, cinematic, it was just like the camel back breaking. Was like, okay, we reached that line of how much bullshit we're willing to handle at a given time, and with the one sanctity that we still had, which was the animation, the cinematics, the introduction, the beautifulness. Strike
Well
5 is if the music becomes shit.
Yeah, because like I think one reason why this cinematic like pretty much like broke the League community so much is one, obviously it's trash, but two, Valorant had gone to cinematic I think a week or two before this one even came out, and they got like a full on like cinematic showing like Omen, Sage, and I think a couple other characters that looked amazing. So like that's one reason why a lot of the League community is like, you guys don't care about this game anymore. Like you only care about your other projects. Like that's what
Like
Riot has.
high skins.
Yeah, it's like Riot is literally showing. It's like, yeah, no, you literally don't care about League of Legends anymore. Like you're only caring about your other projects.
Which is like, all right, well, like, and then which then begs the question of, it's like, all right, so how much of the diehards do you think is gonna take it? Because it's like, that's the only reason why, like, similarly, that's the only reason why Overwatch even still has servers up, is the diehards that are just like, yeah, I have XYZ of a problem with this game, but I'm still, you know, like, it's my favorite game. It's like, whatever. It's like, you know, I'm going to still play. I'm going to feed
if I
into
heard
it.
that, I'd be like, please seek help.
And I'm like,
the thing is, it's like, because they've come out now and said, you know, that they've messed up. The cinematic we got wasn't what they had planned, and for some reason they haven't given us. They basically had to have a change of plans. And
Yeah,
it's
what,
like
which
now
they
they're
didn't
trying
exactly
to.
explain like why they had to change it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they can't, you know, say every detail, but at least they're actually trying to communicate now, and you know, they're saying that, you know, they have a new game mode that they're trying, the 2v2v2v2.
Which
You
that
know,
should
so
be interesting.
plus we're apparently going to have a summer event, which, while it's not going to be as big as some of the other ones we've had, it's supposed to be big, and it's also not going to have a visual novel, so
well,
It's like I don't mind the visual novel if it's done right. Like the Spirit Blossom event, like I enjoyed the visual novel there because like God, like going back to what was it, the Star Guardian one, like that was such a terrible visual novel because like you really had no choice in the matter. Plus, you weren't your own character; you were Kai'Sa,
yeah, so
which like just takes away from like the experience that you got from the Spirit Blossom event or the I hated it, but the Ruination, like yeah, like the visual novel there is like you were still yourself technically.
it's I want to have hope for these like up and coming things, and only because I don't know, I just
Like-
feel like Riot's so bad at their PR.
No, they are.
It's just so bad.
It's like the 2v2v2, like that sounds interesting. Like I'm definitely curious on how that game was going to go. But obviously, like until we actually see it in action, it's like hard to like judge how good it actually will be. Obviously,
Yeah, I don't even have like ideas of what that could even like look like. Are we looking like Twisted Tree Line, kind of like everyone meets in the middle, Nexus style? Like,
I mean that'd be cool if they brought back Twisted Tree Line. Hell, bring
like
back oh God, I forget the name of the map, but it was the Darude Sandstorm.
the Crystal Scar.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that map. Bring that back. I just remember it by Darude Sandstorm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Like that was a good map. Heck, that was a good event. Good game and everything.
can't even remember what I was doing back then.
Not playing League.
Oh yeah, I know, but I physically like can't remember like what I was playing instead. Sidebar. So
Alright.
random
COD.
story. So because obviously like I remember my theme. So like my first MMO, like by far my favorite like MMO ever, right? Nine Dragons. And so the whole I know I've given Infernal-ish spiel before. But to catch Magma up, it was a martial artist fantasy MMO
Mm-hmm.
that was owned by an original developer called Acclaim. And so everything was like great and fine. I was like, you had six different clans that you could join, and each of them had their own style. And so you had your Infernal clans, and you had your crap, what were the other ones called? I think it was Imperial clans. So you had the Heavenly Demons, you had the Brotherhood of Thieves, and you had the Sacred Flower, which was like the all-girl clan, because they were basically, obviously this was back in the time when, you know, guys were playing female characters, and it was concerning, because like there wasn't like, you know, marriage and like those kind of social interactions or whatever, but like this was like early non-cringeworthy like e-dating almost, was like if, you know, you had like if you had someone that was like a female character or whatever, and you were like playing with them, like this is time that you spent like a lot of time with or whatever, like we would be in a dungeon for like hours on hours, like you would be with this person, because you benefited from being in a party, like for XP, for skill boosting, depending on what class you were, you basically just had a pocket buffer, right? So like every class had some buff type, and so like if you were with somebody, you're like, all right, cool, I get all the healer buffs that can be used on them, on me, and then the warrior buffs, so like stuff like that, right? So, and then on the other side you had the Imperial clans, which I may be just completely and utterly off base, it's been so long. But you had the Wu-Tang, which were sword users, like basically the Wu-Tang style. You had the Shaolin monks, which were all guys, obviously. And then you had the League of Beggars, which I found to be the funniest group of motherfuckers ever, because their style was Drunken Fist. And just being smashed off, like all of their skills were based off of
Oktoberfest.
Essentially, all of their skills are based off of like, you know, like ambrosias and stuff like that. It was freaking wild. Unfortunately, the developers went under. They just like gonzo, but there was like no PR for it, and it sucked ass. It was shitty. Because it's just like we log in one day and it's just like, oh, the servers are not available, and we're like, but why? It's not maintenance time, like that's not until like tomorrow or some shit or whatever. And then, you know, you go looking around and it's just like, yeah, the game's on, like, and then it got to a point where you couldn't even log in to say that the servers were unavailable, which was, and so we're just like, what the fuck's going on? And then eventually, I can't remember at what point I found out, but I look into like the website of them, and it's like, their website wasn't even there anymore. Like they were gonzo. It took forever to find any information on it. So after a while, it came out that they went bankrupt. Like they were gonzo, and that's why everything just dropped off, because they literally took everything from them. and then so it went, so you know, some about a year or so passed or whatever, and I'm like scrolling because I like MMOs. I'm trying to find something else to play, and I'm like looking for other like fantasy martial art games or whatever, because I was like, that's the kind of game that I wanted to play. And I'm like looking, like this is around the time I found Jade Dynasty, but Jade was just too massive. It was like WoW, where it was just huge. Like you wouldn't see any other actual players until like, unless you were like in the beginning area, but after that, once you left the beginning area, you would see no one, because it was just so stratified in leveling, because it's like, oh, you had new players and then you had old players. There was no in between. So you had your beginning village area where you know, it's teaching you how to do all X, Y, and Z in the third, and then it tells you, you know, it's like, oh, go out into the world, blah blah blah, etc. And so I was just like, all right. And so in the midst of this, I find out that Nine Dragons came back. Another company picked it up, and it was called I think it was called like I can't remember. It's irrelevant, because essentially they picked it up and they went under for some reason. I think someone else bought them or whatever. So the game stayed the same. They just kept just like basically being a new developer or whatever, hosting and managing the servers. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, this blah blah blah. And then they go under. And then it's like, cool. So who has the game now? And then it finally stuck in with one thing called like Game Campus. But at this point, it's not the game anymore. It's just a giant market of people trying to make real money off of accounts, from event items, and, you know, high level stuff that only can come, you know, like you're like, oh, it's like this amount of in-game currency for this, but people are like, oh, but I'll trade you this, you know, real currency thing for it, and, you know, for these materials. And so it's like something that was like $20-$40 to get, you know, in-game currency from the shop or something. And it was just, and so I stopped playing. So, you know, that's, I want to say like maybe 4 years ago at this point. Tell me why I go into my email and I see something that doesn't look quite right, but it is right. So it's like, it looks like a spam email, right? Because it doesn't look right. But I knew it was legitimate because it was like, it gave me my actual like gamer name, which only the actual account like people would have. So I open it up and they're telling me that my account's going to be removed from inactivity. And I'm like, I don't even remember what game this account is for. So I click to see what it is. I go to the website. I recognize the name. I recognize Game Campus. But they've completely changed. It's a golfing game now.
What? How does that work?
I was gone for so long. I don't know what happened over the time I was gone. So my best guess is that the company that had the actual account, because you had, you know, you make your account on the website or whatever, but whatever they were in charge of for the game that I was playing, which I'm guessing was probably Nine Dragons, when they took it on, they stopped having Nine Dragons, but they like switched over into another game that they picked up or whatnot, and they just ported over the accounts and stuff because that was all on their site. So if you take over you know, they didn't lose the site, they just dropped the game. But yeah, it was just so weird. I was like, how did we go from MMORPG to a golf game?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It was wild. It was just weird.
There was an online golf game that, not related to this at all, that used to play with Dad. That was one. But yeah, it's like, how the hell do you go from an MMO to that?
Should be wild when you're gone.
Apparently, it's nothing like seeing some orcs golfing.
Yeah, you know, it was just weird orca nonsense and whatnot. But
Whales?
Whales?
Said orca.
Orca whales? Whales? Yeah, we know whales. All right, perfect. Trigger word, whales. So obviously you guys weren't a part of last week's episode, but we were talking about how mobile games have a chokehold on us, right? But we were talking about like the stupid ones, like the really simplistic, like no business being fun games, mainly ones by Voodoo. But wanted to do an addition to that segment being the gacha games. If you were to give a percentage of ownership of your soul, what percentage would gacha games have of it?
I want to answer this question.
Let's see.
You can keep it specific, or you can just do in general, like the whole, like all of the ones that you've played over time, currently, whatever. You set that stipulation.
5% Fate, 10% Genshin.
Okay. Not too bad. Magma's already opted out.
Oh, that's firm. 50%.
Hey.
I'm lowballing here.
Hey. Go fuck yourself.
Hey,
At
man,
least 75% is given to Pokemon, okay?
So, let's see. Okay, so I haven't put any money in the Fate, so that one doesn't have it.
Good on you. Yeah, Jean Arthur, that broke me.
What other? The I didn't put any into the rhythm games for the cards, like during the events.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that.
So money wise, no claim. Time wise, all of it. The amount of time that I've put into Fate.
Ooh.
And do I even still have it on here? Yeah, I still have Bong Dream on here.
Oh, nice.
I haven't played in forever, but it's still there because I refuse to let that go.
Yeah. Hell, in my case, like I've played Fate Grand Order since it was released in America.
Yes.
So that was 2017. Yeah, I think it was June of 2017. It was.
I know Dear Lunch had it. It's 100%.
Oh yeah, no, he is a giga whale.
So if he happens to listen to this, because I haven't posted the link into that Discord, so they don't know about this show yet. I'm gonna wait until there's like 10 episodes out, to post
Is your
it there.
lunch? If you listen to this, please help me with your meal.
So yeah, it's there was another, it wasn't a gacha game, but it was a card turn based game for Naruto that took heaps off of my life. Off of it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You should, because it was the game me and Apollo bonded over. And yes, you know who Apollo is. I'm just not using his actual name.
That's fine.
But yeah, so heaps off of my life because that game got so stressful, because but also what made it so good, because it wasn't just put your strongest ninja out and you win. No, you had to worry about placement, you had to worry about skills and how they affected your enemies, and how the enemies' skills affected you in time with that. And like, I remember there was one fight we had, it was, I think we had the fight Madara, because we were during, I think it was during the war arc of this the time, because that was it, that was all that was out at the time. What was Shippuden, so like the war was like the big thing happening. Um, and it just kept beating the brakes off of me. And I had like Final Forms people. I had, Unsealed, whatever that Jutsu Sakura uses, that Tsunade taught her.
100 healings.
Is it 100 healings? That sounds
think.
low. That number sounds low.
I look it up.
But it was that,
We are professionals here.
we have the technology. We just choose not to use it. So like Sage mode, Naruto, curse, like Uber curse, because this was before the whole
strength of the 100 seal.
strength. Okay, still sounds low, but yeah.
Yeah, it's 100. It's 100 healings, Mark. That's just what it's called.
And yeah, because this was before anyone knew about Kaguya, so it was like a spoiler, because you would have Zetsu, or you could get Zetsu early, and his final would be Kaguya. And so like I had her, and I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Not realizing that, once you got to that point of the anime, it was like, oh,
she's in game.
yeah, okay. Now I say, final boss. At the time, and then Boruto happened.
We don't
Jesus
talk about
Christ.
Boruto.
We don't talk about Boruto. And
If you like Boruto, how's that time skip treating you?
hilarious. If you like Boruto, how do you like Naruto still? Because that also it is. Like I was so excited for like it to actually be about their kids, but then it's like, oh wait, it's going to be about what happens during peacetime, which is jack shit. But then of course, you can't have peace forever, and some fuckery comes around and starts fucking shit up, and it was like, oh, it's your great alien granddaddy. Like
Who the hell are you?
like, who the fuck are y'all? Because let's be real, if we're really getting technical, everyone's related to everyone somehow. It's just how many generations off.
Yeah, look at the Sage of Six Paths.
Yeah, he got busy. He started like 4 clans. So yeah, it was big sad. And there's like so many like good fights and like interactions and growing pains and like nods back to like the previous series and whatnot. It's great, but also ew.
Like when it came to Boruto, like from what like I've seen online, is that all the best episodes were with the original crew. When they weren't there, it was horrendous. And I've seen some of the animation in Boruto. Oh my god, it is terrible.
Makes you want to slap a baby.
It makes me want to slap Naruto for running that way
As a baby.
Yeah.
But
God.
also all of the disrespect to all of like the old like they did Gaara fucking dirty. I'm like, why did you turn him into this?
Like, what is with that hairdo?
Hairdo, personality, like they domesticated Gaara, which is some fuck shit. Like he had such a good development too, because it's like, hey, everyone hates me. My uncle tried to kill me. Screw all of you. I got, my siblings that don't look like me.
Yeah, that part I still never understood.
The only thing that I can think of is that they're actually like half siblings. That's
the only way it makes sense.
Like the dad is the same parent, but like because all they were trying to do was find someone that could be the Jinchuriki, and so like if you weren't compatible to do that, then it's whatever. So because like those are the only features that they share is with what's his face. So I'm just thinking they had different moms and that they're actually half siblings. because otherwise someone needs to explain some shit.
Yeah.
It would make sense why she didn't make it, because she already had 2 others, and it's just like, here's the 3rd time, and then you was like, even though you have like basically medical magic, you still can't make childbirth any easier on the woman. Whatever.
It's anime, all the dead mothers.
And yeah, it's like, you gotta build up villain arcs. You can't have parents being alive. So, you have him getting the dog shit beaten out of him by Lee. him being petty as hell and going trying to kill a motherfucker because he's like, I don't fucking lose. Like, run up, bitch. And he fucking does. And so it's like, you have this ruthless, like, person going through, and then you have the interaction with Naruto and him and being like, all right, so first off, you're a dumbass. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he's like, bet. Doesn't. Gets the brakes beaten off of him again.
Going to that fight with Naruto versus Gaara, when Naruto and Boss Frog, I forgot his name, when they turn into the Nine Tails, I'm just like, how many people in the village are shitting their pants right now?
Not enough. The answer was not enough, because the reality should have been that there should have been like a squad, there should have been a squad, right, that was already sent out to go like deal with that, and then maybe the sensory ninja been like, wait, hold on, something's not right.
Why is the Fox Demon out and about right now?
So it's like, oh shit, Kuruma's out and about. Wait, what the fuck? What happened to Naruto? Blah, 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 whatever. But then like the sensory been like, that's not
that's a frog.
That's not the right chakra. I don't know what that is, but that's not the Nine Tails. And then kind of like a post up, like some, I don't know, like give me filler of something that answered that question. Maybe I don't backtrack. Maybe it exists. Don't know, but like it didn't make any sense to me.
But when it did happen, like it was amazing to see though.
Oh no, it was extreme clue.
Face of claws, finger claws, face of claws.
It's like, it was like, I don't have anything to grip onto him. It was like, I got an idea. Bet. Here we go. And
I saw this in my brain.
I'm like, do you try? I was like, freaking, it's literally, it's like a scene out of freaking Power Rangers. It's like, do you trust me? Yeah, we do. I got a crazy idea. Proceeds to ride another Megazord as a horse.
That just made me think of G Gundam when Burning Gundam was riding the Horse Gundam.
Same concept. Someone's like, I got an idea. I need you to trust me. It may or may not be a bad thing, but I need you to ride with me, yes or no. And everyone says yes. So, you go through... You're going through all of that, and you have him, like, he like they're growing, time skip or whatever, like into Shippuden, like they're growing up, whatever. Gaara's still a salty bitch, but now, he's like, all right, maybe, just maybe, the blonde might have a point. Like, maybe we're not the worst things as everyone makes us out to be, right? Then he gets body jacked. Well, not body jacked. He gets something from his body jacked.
He gets bodied.
He gets bodied. Which again, he's doing all the fucking work. Like, where were the rest of them when he got kidnapped? Like
Seriously.
You saw the motherfucker covering the place with his power, essentially, right? You didn't think, like, yeah, I understand, like, he probably can handle it, but, like, shouldn't we, like, possibly help?
Yeah, because, like, the only one that actually tried to help was Kankuro, but he got bodied by Sorcery.
Yeah, he got bodied. But again, see, can that really count? That's his brother. He's always been in his corner, right? Like him and Tamari have always been on Gaara's side for better or the worse.
I I would count it because at least he tried.
Well, no, I
Compared
mean
to
like
everyone
as
else in
someone
the village.
helping, like he would have all like Kankuro and Tamari being
Well, I mean,
there is
what-
like
what-
Gara
was
being
Tamari
there.
I don't remember Tamari being there.
Was she not?
I don't think she was. I don't know if she was on a mission or if she just was hanging out and sleeping.
Nah, no. If she knew, if she was there, nah, she would have turned that place upside down. You
Yeah,
don't
so-
you don't fuck with a
yeah,
brother
so she- Yeah, so she might have been away.
because we forget he's the baby. Gara's the baby.
Oh wait, no, Tamari was at the Leaf Village.
Yeah. So again, if she was there, you know, because again, Gara's the baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
significantly.
I just remembered. Yeah, Tamari was at the Leaf Village doing like I guess inter-village shit.
Yeah, they were trying to make nice with the Leaf Village, which was good. It's like so it's
Yeah,
everything is
progress.
progressing nicely or whatnot. You got the interim of him getting his pupil, you know, when they were doing that whole stuff and whatnot, and then you fast forward him as a grown ass adult, domesticated, as playing with plants. Excuse me, you used to be known as the Demon of the Sand. Excuse me. Oh, how
Yeah,
the
now-
mighty
now
have
you're-
fallen.
Now you're the demon of herbology.
It's like you led in the Allied Shinobi Force. You convinced a whole bunch of motherfuckers that did not like each other to work together to attempt to not get the brakes beaten off of them. Unfortunately, they did. But
Especially when Madara showed up.
like, he was the brake beaten. He was the beaten that came, unfortunately. But yeah, like, come on. What?
Yeah, no,
Because he's my second favorite. Because Itachi's my favorite.
yeah,
But like, come on.
yeah, no, like that's one. Like, there's some reasons why I would not pick up Boruto. And also, it's like someone that looked at like the anime itself, just like because I understand like you in your case, like you don't mind filler because sometimes filler expands the story. Boruto's filler does not do that, and I think what was it? It's like 10% of the anime of Boruto is canon. Everything else is just filler.
Good Christ.
Yeah, like they're barely doing the manga. Like I heard the manga's written pretty good, but yeah, no, the anime is full.
But alright. Let's see here. Alright, so we got another game coming. Alright, so we'll wrap us up because we are almost at our mark. We got Liquid and FlyQuest coming to fight it out. Who you think is taking it?
I'm gonna say
I wanna
Team
say
Liquid.
I'll say Liquid. Liquid. And then the backtrack. I was not expecting EG to give the literal beat stick to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely looking dicey for a while.
It was, but then they were like, all right, enough playing around.
That the Azir at the end though, like
Zap.
God, he was being so freaking cocky.
Like, he was a whore. But yeah, so that's a show, guys. That's a show. We did it. That's another episode on the books.
Thank you for stopping by and listening to this point.
Yep, if you made it this far, awesome, because I gave you the warning in the beginning. But if you made it this far, awesome. More for you. You got through the hour. And yeah, another one next week. I don't know who we're going to have. At one point, I do want to have...
Hey, who can come out of the grave?
Well, also, I want lunch, for sure. I got to get lunch on him. And then I really want to do one with Apollo, because Consumed by TV's popping off. They're doing their season 2. There's a bunch of stuff out for them, so definitely go check them out. Apollo's been like a hype man for me like since I met him, so gotta send the support back in some fashion. So definitely check that out.
for sure there is plenty of, I don't even know how many episodes it's like, because unfortunately I can't watch his show slash listen to his show because he's talking about like current TV and like stuff that's going on. So it's like hella spoilers if you're not actually up to date on the stuff that they're covering. So it's like I just can't watch because I'm always behind. But always swore I still want to do the Doctor Who segment for Consumed. I still want to do that. And yeah, so we have things in the future for that, so should be fun. So yeah, enjoy your weekends and make it through. Until next time, I am Dragons, and that is the show. See you next time.
See you.
Bye.